recorded live in a studio right next to an actual functioning chicken coop. It's the Indispensable Thursday Show with Sable and Dave.
Oh, forget that, Glenn, man. I told you I was going to do the intro. You're listening to the Indispensable Thursday Show with your host... With your host... What's your name again?
Sable. I'm Sable.
With your host, Sable and Dave.
Hi,
I'm Dave. Hi, Dave. Wait, I'm Dave.
We're just kidding. We reverse that. I'm Dave.
That's Dave Smith.
God forbid people should go away because people might be turning off now and they'll forever think that I'm Sable and you're Dave. That would be horrible.
Suffering.
I don't know why. Thank you, lateral lisp, man. That wasn't really a lateral lisp, though.
No.
Lateral lisp is kind of like this.
Right? Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But you were doing a little different thing.
I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, so I'm Dave and you're Sable, and this is the Indispensable Thursday Show.
Welcome.
That records on Tuesday night now, and then
temporarily
waits a day, and then drops on Thursday. But that'll be back to normal pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Back to hello. What was that?
What's that?
Is that my toast? Is that my? I have a penis pump
Dave?
installed now, and when it gets fully erect, that's the sound that it makes.
Hello?
Bueno?
No way.
That was not a phone ringing. That was like a, what is that?
Dave, we just got a note from the FCC. The jokes are not funny enough.
It's not funny enough or not funny, period. Good grief.
Same thing.
Ugh. So, what are we doing?
So,
when is our 100th show? So I can
oh.
just quit this whole thing.
We got to
get to 100.
We got a long time to go.
I know.
I was watching Game of Thrones.
Me too.
Really messed me up. Game of Thrones this week messed me up.
Yeah, well, how?
Now I really get involved in shows, right? I follow shows for 5 years, 6 years. You get invested in the characters. But and I don't know, can we give a spoiler yet? You think some people haven't?
It's too
so
early.
The character that died, was not the kind of character that you feel like, oh well, he was raping women and beating up children, and he deserved to have his eyes gouged out.
I'm totally drawing a blank on who this was. I watched them out of order last night, so I'm getting a little confused. I watched like episode 5, and then I went back to 3 or something.
Okay, so
wait, who?
This episode is called The Door.
Yeah.
And there's a powerful moment
that
involves time travel.
Gotcha. Okay.
It involves using mental power to control somebody, and what happens when you cross the streams in space and time.
Yeah, it was really complicated.
It was very interesting. Well, so the director...
Can we get Stephen Hawking on the line? Can you call him up?
The director was the same guy that did a couple episodes of Lost.
Oh.
That had the time-changing weirdness. I think it was the one where the guy had to go back in time to get his girlfriend's number to make a phone call for some reason. So, anyways, there's this wild, convoluted thing happening with
there was a big
time
payoff,
travel.
a big payoff at the end of this episode. It was pretty cool.
And a character I didn't expect to be punished died. And I'm sitting there at the end of the show and I can't speak. I'm just like, the credits are rolling. Usually I just skip forward past the credits and move right on.
Was your mouth and or any other orifice agape?
My mouth was open. I was like,
Wow. Wasn't that a good payoff though?
Wow.
It was a good payoff because there was an explanation of what a certain word meant. You've been hearing this word, like,
Well, and the acting was so intense.
Yeah.
It hurt. It wasn't like the kind of acting where it hurts you because it's so dumb, like The Office or like Saturday Night Live humor.
Yeah, the uncomfortable
humor.
This was a real. I didn't get emotional on this one, but I see. I could see why you did.
This was like the guy was on the ground. He could see his own death. It traumatized him to the point that he became mentally incompetent and lived out his whole life into adulthood knowing that he was going to die horribly.
I didn't get that. So the younger version of himself was seeing what happened to the older version. Yeah, it was kind of melting together. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I guess I got that. So yeah, but yeah, it was a conflagration, a cacophony, a melding of. It was just too much for the poor guy.
So naturally, I reached out to find emotional support on Twitter.
That's the best place to go for emotional support.
And
I bet you went out there, you type in like, I'm feeling very fragile right now, and everyone is like, you fucking faggot! Which is perfect Twitter banter.
Actually, I only open myself so much publicly. Maybe on the podcast I'll do a little more, but on Twitter I think I just wrote /tears.
Oh.
Which would sort of give it up. So I start looking into Twitter to see what other people are typing in there. And they're like,
Can we name the show Fucking Faggot, by the way? Do you think
No,
that would download?
no.
iTunes would like that.
iTunes would do it, but let's not.
All right.
And I saw this, ugh, the feels. OMG, the feels. My heart, the feels. And I'm like, what?
The feels?
What's the feels? This is clearly something I've never heard of. This is like a 25 and younger phrase, the feels. So I start looking around.
Feelings.
And the first thing that I came up with is the feels is from a horror movie where this thing climbs up your anus and then eats your body from the inside out. And that can't be what they're talking about.
Maybe. No, probably not. If it's related to that episode, but I don't think so.
And then I found the feels is everywhere. So actually I went to, the second primary source of all knowledge. Well, you know what the primary source of all knowledge is, right?
The Bible, the Holy Bible.
What? Who the hell are you? Wikipedia.
Hey, Jesus is my nigga, man.
Oh, you've been watching Rapping with Jesus. Uh-huh. I'm talking about the feels. The feeling you get, this is from the Urban Dictionary.
Okay. Oh, the Urban Dictionary.
And can't quite explain, making you speechless and go crazy when that certain someone looks at you in just the right way or really does anything. Well, that wasn't quite right because people were saying, "Oh, the feels for this character."
They're probably expanded. The Urban Dictionary words change meaning very quickly, so they're probably expanding it to.
So how about this? Emotions that involve feeling deep empathy for someone who is in obvious pain or feeling so deeply confused that you cannot put your emotion into words.
There you go.
Except it's in words. In the Urban Dictionary, you fucks.
If you can cut and paste it, then it's been put into words.
The definition is fucking wrong. So Urban Dictionary sucks. Wikipedia is great, but now I know what the feels are. It's a stupid fucking thing that people say.
Is it like the creeps? Could be, right? Or it could be.
Yeah, but you have
could be chills.
You have an emotional feeling towards it.
So one of my friends, Mark Gonzalez, used to say whenever he'd get choked, it'd be like VE. Very emotional.
VE.
VE. Well, he used to say very emotional, but he said it so much that he had to shorten it to VE.
I thought if he had VD, that would be more interesting. Like, how was your date last night? VD. Like, what do you mean?
VD. That's like an old World War II movie warning the soldiers not to frequent the brothels in town.
I woke up this morning and my piss burns. Oh, it burns. God, it burns.
Oh, dear.
VD. Doesn't stand for Victory Day, children.
They have no idea what that means either, these children.
So, Game of Thrones clearly was the highlight of my entertainment.
Yeah.
But I did go watch another movie. I went to the theater, and I went to the theater without you.
Yes, you did.
Because I went late at night. And
I'm never up late at night. You shouldn't have called
on a Wednesday night. I went to see.
Did you have one of those times where? Because sometimes it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, "It's a 10 o'clock movie." And I'm like, maybe I'll text a couple people. But then you're like, fuck it, I just go by myself. Because sometimes I like going by myself because you don't have to wait for anybody. You just go straight there. It's like, I like going there by myself sometimes.
Well,
How about you?
I had a dentist appointment.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
And then I was on the other side of town, and I didn't want to drive all the way back here and then go driving to the theater. So I went to a theater that was on the way home.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw Captain America: Civil War. Have you seen it yet?
No, have not.
You skipped it.
I'm not sure I'm even going to bother. Should I bother?
Did you watch any of the other Captain Americas?
I don't remember if I did. That's why I'm probably not going to see this movie because the Marvel movies are all bleeding together. Unlike the Harry Potters, I tapped out at number 4. Although I was watching it on a plane to Manila, and I was like, this is all. So
tell
me if I should see it.
I think Captain America, the original one, was pretty good. And if you enjoyed Captain America in the comic book, it's a good movie. This movie, Civil War, was completely unexpected in my book. Surprisingly good, and one of the more complete hero movies with in-depth, like people going into their heads, the way they're thinking, and actually figuring out what the hell is going on and why. And
Good.
of course,
that is what I like about the Marvels and the X-Men movies. They're a little better. Like I get bored with the action sequences because I feel like I know where they're. I can write all the action sequences almost. I know where they're going, but I like the banter and the little ticks that each character has.
The motivation.
Those are more interesting.
Yeah, the motivation, the characters. They brought in Spider-Man. They own Spider-Man now, so they could finally bring Spider-Man in. So it's a new Spider-Man, the third of the modern Spider-Mans, and he's clearly the best. He's like the immature kid that Spider-Man always should have been.
Yeah, he's a high school student, right? Peter Parker's like a high school kid.
Right? So, yeah, Batman versus Superman is just like people are going to forget it because America's Civil War is it's an extravaganza.
What do you think it was really about, Sable? American Civil War?
The American Civil War?
Captain America Civil War.
I think it was really about friends splitting ways and the consequences of their actions, which is actually a theme that came up in Batman versus Superman. What happens when a super powerful person can take the lives of others without even blinking? So the Avengers have to put up or shut up. They have to be accountable, and they're split apart by their personal beliefs.
Okay.
And it's very good.
Does anybody come out as gay or bi or
no? But they come
straight
out
curious?
Surprisingly powerful.
Surprisingly powerful? Predictably powerful?
The Scarlet Witch was pretty phenomenal.
Okay.
But here's the good news. If you miss it, you can watch it in September on Netflix. Netflix has already announced they're going to have it.
All right, September. It seems like if you want to just wait till October, you probably just get a Blu-ray or a DVD, and then you can just go down to Redbox and then get it out of there, and then take it home and rip it with Handbrake, and then you'll have it for $1.50.
Sure, you could do that for $1.50, or you could just wait for it to show up on Netflix and just watch it for free.
By the way, people, if you don't know how to rip DVDs, I don't know how to rip Blu-rays because I don't have a Blu-ray for my computer, but you can go down to Redbox and get yourself any old DVD. Now, there's two ways. I'm going to give you some get a pen here because you can use Handbrake, but Handbrake doesn't always crack some of these DVDs they put out have a lot of they I don't know what I think they intentionally put bad sectors on it so your computer reads it. They do actually. It'll say bad sector when it's trying to copy and it'll stop. That's a good trick. But there's a program out there, folks. If Handbrake doesn't work, I want you to download this program. It's called DVD Decryptor. It's an old one from way back. All it is just a .exe file. Put it on your PC. That sucker will copy. I think I've only had one DVD that didn't copy in my entire history of copying. And you could rip it to a disk image, and then you can open that disk image with, say, something like Handbrake, and then copy it. So, DVD Decryptor. Get it if you want to copy DVDs. That's illegal, by the way. Don't do that. Is that the disclaimer?
Is that? Yeah, I think that's a good disclaimer.
Yeah. So anyway, what else? What do you got going on?
So anyway, I came across. I was copying you there.
So you should recommend Civil War.
I recommend Captain America: Civil War. Spider-Man is awesome. Iron Man is excellent as always.
Was it funny?
It was funny. It was deep. It was intellectual. And given the Marvel Universe, everything felt plausible.
All right. I'm not boycotting because I think they're bad. I think they're all pretty good, but I'm just sort of I'm kind of maybe I'm too old to start enjoying those. They're too many. They're too similar. And I'm like, what?
This one's good.
I know they're good.
This one's good.
They know what they're doing over there at Marvel. But,
and they explain the parts of the second movie that you might have missed, so you don't need you're not missing out if you did not see it.
I've got limited awareness now because I'm 49 years old, so I've got.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm going to start being like the grandpa that the next generation of smartphones. I'm going to say, fuck it, I don't want to learn how to do this. And my grandkids are going to be, no, just do this. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm good with my good old iPhone. If it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me.
Right.
But so I'm clearing the deck. I don't want to get too much Marvel stuff. I want to clear it all for the Star Wars stuff, which is my old love.
You're waiting for Star Wars.
Yeah, I got to clear it for that.
Not Star Trek.
No, Star Trek. I would like Star Trek a lot, but I'm not as into it as I am the Star Wars stuff.
So my idea of doing the podcast in Klingon is not really going to fly with you?
That would be awesome. Can you do it as a drunk Klingon?
Probably.
That would be awesome. I don't know any Klingon.
Let me work on
Although
a script.
I do have. You know what we should do? I bet you I could get the guy who created the Klingon dialogue, like the Klingon language. I could get him on this show. Should I do it? We have there's the 2 degrees to the Klingon creator. To me, I know this. I know someone who's friends with the guy who created the language.
But let me ask, the guy that did the lines for the TV shows and movies, or the guy that took the lines and made it into a full language?
They made it into a full language. This guy, yeah.
That would be so awesome.
I should look into that. We could get this guy on.
We could do a whole special. He could teach us Klingon.
Yeah, and first thing I would say is, dude, let me smell your fingers. They must those drenched in pussy juice.
And then we could replace all of your drops, like this one.
Yeah.
That's racist. That's racist.
We could do the Klingon version. Is there a translate? Can you go to Google Translate and do Klingon? Let me try.
Yes, you can.
Can you? Yes, okay, I'm gonna do that right now live.
No. Knickers.
I want to hear that
translation.
In Klingon.
Okay, I'm gonna do that's racist. I'm a little drunk, so I typed that perfectly. So English. Now I'm gonna translate.
Now, while Dave is translating, if you think having a show with the inventor of the Klingon language is a good idea, give us a call and let us know.
Tell us what you think. Call us at 657-206-0777.
Again, you said let us know, and then he says tell us what you think.
Oh, let me try it again.
So, yeah, do that again.
If you want to give us your feedback about having an episode focused on the Klingon language,
tell us what you think. Call us at 657-206-0777.
How was that, Growly Bear?
I don't see a Klingon option on the Google Translate. Is there a Klingon Translate page? Never mind. This is going nowhere. This bit is... I'm going to kill this bit right now. I'm going to anally rape this bit right now. What else you got?
I'm not really against the anal raping, but...
I'm in certain... You know that I'm pro-anal rape in certain circumstances.
In certain circumstances, I know you are.
Yes. And you agreed with me. We were going to invite that guy over that was the pro-rape guy to have him come over here. We're going to lock him in here and have a bunch of gay MMA guys rape the shit out of him. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't happen. What happened with that? Did you talk to his people?
No, I never followed up. I found the Klingon translator.
Oh, good. Okay, so put in, that's racist.
Oh, racist.
That's no good.
That's no good.
That's no good.
Let's come up with something better. Let's see. What's it going to be in Klingon? What should we say?
How about hold the green onions?
Hold the green onions.
This is a great pod.
Sud onion ok ar uk.
All right, I'll go with that.
I don't know.
Well, we should have this guy on to tell. He can verify if that's correct or not.
He probably wrote that. All right, I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm gonna have to look into this. We'll see if we can get the guy on, and then we'll have to figure out what kind of questions we can ask him that would be interesting. Okay. Anyway, I don't. Okay, so is the show done? What time is it?
No.
We got more shit?
We have so much stuff.
Okay. You guys like my blazer?
Ooh.
We've been doing the HD video, so I didn't want to just come in with a t-shirt and shorts on. That's my I dress like Bart Simpson 24/7. So I thought, well, I'll put on some jeans and a little blazer. This time, look a little better.
All right. Well, I wanted to tell everybody about something I came across. I thought this was very interesting. Mm-hmm. Apparently, Christians are having a hard time keeping up with all their activities on a day-to-day basis because dedicated, devout Christians will stop and pray over their food. And every meal, every snack, and actually this is just like Jews do, they'll stop and they'll ask for their Heavenly Father to bless the meal. Well, all that stopping for prayer takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
So there is, and now you can buy this in certain places, there's pre-blessed food.
Are you shitting
so
me?
You can go
this
get,
is awesome.
You
is this
can
a
go
new
get
sponsor?
Christian pre-blessed food. I'm trying to get them as a sponsor.
Oh,
so if you guys have sitter onion ook. I don't know what that is, Growly Bear. if you guys have any leads on this pre-blessed food, let's try and get the Christian pre-blessed food because there are more Christians in the country to buy this. But if not, let's go get some pre-blessed.
Well, see, now you're giving me an idea here because if there's a pre-blessing, there also must be a post-blessing. Like they'll come and do your toilet for you. Like after you've defecated the meal in question, you can do like stand over the toilet and do you're already in there.
That would be what the real holy people do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gotta do your bowing 3 times. I didn't get to. I think we started to ask Jesse about that because he used to be a big old fundy, and Growly Bear's likening me to Don Johnson in the chat room. That's cool. Is Growly Bear the only person in the chat room?
Yeah,
our chat so sad.
Our chat. Well, I didn't.
Not for him. He's bitching, but
I didn't post.
It's sad for us
Facebook.
that no one else is in there. Oh, well, that's obviously the problem.
It's my fault. I didn't post on Facebook. Sorry.
Oh God. What was I talking about? I had some brilliant fucking point to make, and that happens all the time. I got derailed. Growly Bear will tell me what I was talking about in about 15 seconds.
Well, and we also have there's an IRC app for the iPhone called Mutter, Mutter, which I have discovered, and it works great. So I can be in the chat room now because my laptop is way over there in the chat room. This is so if you guys on iOS want to join the chat room. Go to the App Store, get Mutter, Mutter, and you want to go to irc.chatrealm.net, and you want to join the channel Pound Sable and Dave.
But don't actually pound Sable and Dave.
Pound Sable and Dave. Ooh, yeah. That's good stuff right there.
Oh, God. What else we got going on? Is there any news we need to look at? Or I did something I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you want to go there yet. Or
Let's go there in a minute.
Okay.
I want to give one little tip. I always try to bring a little bit of tech into this.
Yeah.
Netflix has released a little service because a lot of people whine that they can't get Netflix. So they released a service called fast.com. And bring it up on your browser right now.
Go right
fast.com. All it does is load up from Netflix to your computer what's your connection.
Ooh.
Now, this is going to tell you whether you have a good connection or not. That's it. That's all it tells you.
You got a better connection than I do, I think.
No way, dude. You have fiber. I have 100 down.
I'm not getting 120 megabits on my wireless. Where's your router? Must be nearby.
You're getting 120 megabit?
That's
amazing. I only have 100 down.
You got 120 down here.
That's fantastic.
What's the up? Does it say?
No, that doesn't check for up because
everybody out there is very excited that Sable gets really fast downloads.
I'm so impressed. I mean, I have 450 megabits on my Wi-Fi, but because I have a modern Wi-Fi.
450?
450.
Wow.
It's the Wi-Fi anyways.
Okay. Well, all right.
But
so
I paid for 100.
That's cool.
100 down, 30 up.
Fast.com. Check your speed over there.
Check it on your phone. Check it anywhere. That way you can make sure the live stream is coming HD to you.
Be very careful that you don't type in fist.com.
Ooh.
Because
that's your site, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah. It is my site. So, by the way, type in fist.com. Actually, it doesn't go anywhere. No one owns fist.com, which is really weird because I would have thought someone had it.
Ooh.
Maybe it's www.fist.com. No. Great Stallone movie, Fist. You ever see that one?
So, fist.com.
Don't watch it. Is a big no. Right.
That's a big no.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, if you like what we're doing so far, you can support the show. Please. Dave, how could they support us?
You could go to our website and you could click on the Amazon link.
What's our website, Dave?
He
doesn't know.
TheIndispensableShow.com.
Wow, that's going to be tough.
I did that in my Silkwood rape shower voice.
Go to TheIndispensableShow.com.
What happened to her in that movie? Sorry, yeah. TheIndispensableShow.com. Yeah, go over there.
Click on the Amazon button and just go buy whatever you feel like, and we'll get kicked back a little % or so.
Yep. I bought something on Amazon today, but I can't. It doesn't count for me, so I went to Jesse Dollamore's site, and I bought a little something there. And so he got a kickback from us on that one.
And there's another way. If you'd like to sponsor our next show's drink, we're currently drinking my bottle of Costco rum, which is very good rum.
It is perfectly good rum.
But if you'd like to sponsor a specific alcohol for us, send us a note on PayPal and some money to buy it, and I'll go pick up that bottle of what you want us to drink, and we'll drink that right here on the show.
Yeah, if you're a distributor of said liquor, like if you work for, if you work for Anheuser-Busch, you don't need to. But if you work for someone like Stone Brewing Company or one of those places, or the Grey Goose people, send us a little something, and we'll test it out. We'll talk about it. I'm kind of buzzed now. You poured me out. It was a stiff pour that you gave me out of the rum.
Good. Well, I'm very generous with my pours.
Yeah.
That's why I buy the Costco size ones. So we really appreciate your support on Amazon.com and PayPal. Yeah.
So I got distracted by the chat room.
The chat room. Well, I got a personal note that Babbling Coffee might not make it.
Might not make it? What?
I know. We got used to Babbling Coffee.
You mean in the chat room?
In the chat room.
Oh, okay. I thought they had like cancer or something. Jesus.
No, as far as I know, none of our listeners are dying.
Okay.
So.
Any faster than the rest of
I'm just going to skip over to the coffee talk now.
Okay,
I was sort of waiting.
Coffee talk.
I was waiting a little bit, a few minutes in, 25 minutes in, just to see if Babbling would show up.
We waited as long as we could, Babbling Coffee, but the world is clamoring.
No, I don't have any music for our coffee talk yet, but this weekend, I went to Palm Springs. Well, I went to Joshua Tree, did some hiking around. Joshua Tree is amazing. I recommend everybody within Southern California go to Joshua Tree before it gets 100 degrees out because it's beautiful. There's 80-million-year-old rocks that you can go climb around. I had no idea it was so awesome. So we spent the day Joshua Tree, then we stayed the night in Palm Springs. Now I wake up Palm Springs Sunday morning. Okay, there's got to be good coffee in Palm Springs.
Did you take any pictures like this, like you two from the Joshua Tree album?
I didn't.
What?
Sorry. No.
I thought you would totally do like versions of your boys, like in this pose. That would be bitchin'.
I do. The album. I do cool. Like the U2 album Joshua Tree, but it's from my younger years.
It's still cool.
It is a cool album.
All right.
'Cause I still haven't found. Oh.
A good coffee shop.
Well, in Palm Springs, just a half mile from where I was staying, I found a shop called Coffee.
Holy shit. Who would have believed that? All right. Were you near the main drag? What's the main drag called there in Palm Springs?
Palm Springs Boulevard?
Palm Springs Boulevard, yeah. Palm Springs is really cool, actually.
Palm Springs is pretty hip. They have an Ace Hotel. Ace Hotel is famous in New York.
Yeah.
But this is like the hip place to go get drinks. All the young people are up, apparently.
Cool.
So I went down to the coffee. They have two locations, one in Rancho Mirage, which is nearby, and one in Palm Springs, locally roasted. Okay, I went in. Everything was clean. All the people were beautiful and fit and well-dressed. There were several younger women, like women younger than 30, who were there with older women that looked like they were in their 50s or 60s. So probably a bunch of moms and daughters.
Okay.
It's my guess. They have an outdoor patio full of animals. So people bring their dogs to the outdoor patio. It's pretty cool. And as I was waiting for my coffee to take back to the house, I had one there and I took one to go and one for Lori. And I looked out and there was a stroller. Like, oh, a stroller. Oh, wait, that's an animal stroller. Let me see what kind of dog's in there.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I look and it's not a dog, it's a cat. I'm like, whoa, there's a cat in the stroller. So I take a picture of it and I look at the picture and I look back at the stroller. There's another cat on the top. There's two cats in the cat stroller at the coffee.
Is it a cat stroller or is it a...
It's like a little dog stroller.
It's a dog stroller, which is different from a human stroller?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, and I had...
It's amazing what people can make money at making.
I had to inquire because in Palm Springs it gets so hot.
Do you think in North Korea they have a big market for dog strollers or cat strollers?
But dogs can't walk on the concrete.
Why?
When it's 120 degrees, it'll burn their little paws.
Oh.
So you put them in the stroller and push them around.
Yeah, of course.
So this guy had this couple, I think it was a couple, an older couple, had their cats in the stroller at the coffee shop. It was fantastic.
Couple of gay fellas?
No, it looked like a very old woman and lady.
Okay.
But it was like cats. It's a pet friendly patio. It's fine. But I don't
think I want to go there. I don't know.
I bought an espresso bean blend. Let me tell you, man, I thought Palm Springs was just a bunch of old people and old apartments and old ass shit. And it was full of like Teslas and very high end, nice looking Audis and a bunch of young, beautiful people.
Yeah.
I was, whoa.
Palm Springs is pretty cool. Yeah. And are you ready to apologize for Jesse for the coffee segment? Although we weren't really talking about that. We're kind of talking about Palm Springs, so maybe he's okay.
Well, so I got my espresso blend. I'm very happy with coffee. I'm looking forward to going back the next time I go to Palm Springs, or maybe checking out the other place where they do the roasting themselves. And yeah, that's all I had for coffee talk this week. I could mention I stopped by Stumptown again, but one coffee place per episode.
I'm going down to Stumptown, down in Stumptown.
All right, I'd like to thank Jesse Dollamore for sponsoring Coffee Talk this week.
Hell yeah! Brought to you by the I Doubt It with Dollamore podcast. God, they write the checks that keep the show afloat.
So, Dave, while I was looking at 88-million-year-old rock formations, I think you were checking out 88-million-year-old breasts.
88 million? Oh, my. Yeah, I did. Funny you should mention that, Sable. How did you know? No, I went to, it was the last day of the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, which is up in Irwindale, the lovely city of Irwindale.
It's a lovely place. Do you speak in your accent? And wear a costume?
I'll talk about that later.
And say,
there
get
was
over
a moment,
here, wench.
I did have a moment where I got some laughs doing that.
I'll take a black and tan.
Upon entering, of course, the cleavage per square yard probably exceeds the tranny hookers per square yard in Manila. I mean, a lot. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you look. Luckily, I had the sunglasses on, which are, you can't see my eyes. So the wife couldn't see my eye lines, but I was just drinking it in. A lot of heaving bosom, and it was cool. They're proudly showing their bosom, and if you're a dude, sometimes you're like, I think I can see just a little bit of nipple there. I think I can, Mm-hmm. But that was awesome. And did you ever, by the way, sometimes you get so used to walking around looking at the lovely the eye candy there that when I'll take my glasses off sometimes. I'll put them on my head and I forget that I'm not wearing them, and I'll just start staring at their boobs and then sometimes they catch you like, oh shit, I don't have my cloaking device on. They can see where I'm looking. Good Lord. They quickly put the glasses back on. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it's weird walking around there with these it's like a throwback. There's people playing mandolins and lutes and whatnot, and people walking around and they're selling various things, and it's basically a bunch of Bernie supporters, a bunch of lefties celebrating the days of plague and legalized rape and incest and slavery. And
did they have a kissing bridge while you were there?
I didn't see that.
I think they stopped it some years back. But I remember...
Yeah, I could see how that could be a problem now.
I remember a very suave friend of mine just sort of standing on the kissing bridge and making do with all the older ladies.
Oh, the cougars? That was before they had cougars, though. Now they...
Well...
Were they called cougars then?
I don't think he cared when, they all were 38 Fs.
Was it the motorboating bridge or the kissing bridge?
It was called the kissing bridge.
Oh, okay. Not the motorboating bridge. Is it in the same place in Irwindale up there? There's like a lake there?
No, they moved it from where it used to be to someplace hotter. Because it wasn't hot and miserable enough wherever it was.
We had perfect weather that day. It was nice. But,
oh, lucky you.
But yeah, so celebrating the slavery and the legalized rape. But thank God that the much more egregious evils of the combustion engine, didn't make their way into the place though. So they all could celebrate that. I got into it though. I was waiting for.
Did you have a costume on?
No. I came with my daughters and the wife, so we were just there for the last day just to check. I've never been.
I didn't know that.
I ordered French fries, and for the I have one daughter. The younger one, her diet is completely potato based. She barely eats anything other than potato products. French fries. Her grandmother makes makes really good ones. They're Russian potatoes, so she eats those. That's her favorite fucking thing. So she'll only when we go out eat potatoes or pasta. Pasta-based potato might even be potato-based pasta. Do they? Okay, that might be the best thing for her. But anyway, I order these things, and then you have to wait a long time. They're like, okay, we'll call you when they're ready. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So it's like $7 for the French fries, and I'm waiting there. People are crowding in, and like, God damn, it took like 10, 12 minutes for them to finally call my name. And she goes, David, and I go, 'tis I, God be praised. And I was like, ripple of laughter, like, oh, cool, I'm getting into this. So
You say, huzzah!
good, yeah, huzzah!
Huzzah!
And I got my fucking French fries, and I bailed out of there. Let my daughter eat all of them. I had 2. They were curly fries, so it's hard to get curly fries out without
Taking
kind
a
of like
bunch.
remember the barrel of monkeys, like they're always gripping onto one of the other monkeys. It's hard to get a
Right.
curly fry out without going to the other ones. But
I spent many years at the Renaissance Pleasure Fair, year after year, and I have a costume. I have a drinking horn.
oh Jesus. Well, I was going to say that sounds like a good place for 20-somethings to go. I wish I would have went there when I was like 23 because you go there with your girlfriend that you met at the bank that works there, the little like maybe Hispanic chick, and she's got her boobies like tightly bodiced, and you're walking around all day getting a little heated with the mead, and you go back and she takes care of your Elizabethan steampunk load in your studio apartment or your mother's basement, wherever you live. That sounds fucking awesome.
You want to stay
But
there
I'm an old married guy.
for the peasant piles. That's the secret. You got to be in costume. You have to speak in the accent. And then you can go join the peasant piles, which is just like drunken, drugged orgies.
Really?
Now, I don't go full orgy because, orgies, I believe orgies indicate you're going to go both ways, but I sort of just like the women part of the orgy. So
yeah, orgies. I don't want to be doing something. I look back and like I feel something on my leg, and there's like some dude's sack there. It's like, no, I don't want that. I just like lots of boobies and vaginas. That would be great.
right. So the Ren Fair is great for that, and every year they move up through a particular year of history. So there's always there's the Queen, and they do a big event, and everybody's costume changes just a little bit. But I used to go and do the juggling sticks. Did you see people doing that?
The pins.
Well, I have the juggling sticks in my car. I keep them with me at all times.
You can juggle pins.
Well, no,
like
it's
the bowling pin things.
It's these 2 sticks,
or the sticks with the stick.
There's a stick in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I have that.
I actually have one of those as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Mine's in my car. I can pull it out at any
we
time.
should do that
with the
for
frisbee
people
and the football.
Oh, I forget what they called it. I got one at a Grateful Dead show.
We call them juggling sticks.
I don't remember what
But
they
you can
called
get
it
the
there.
more
But yeah, it
advanced
should be
one
a
that you
juggling
light on
stick.
fire.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, bring in the juggling sticks. That'd be cool.
Now, I'll tell you one place that you're not going to buy juggling sticks or light the shit on fire.
Would that be? I have no idea.
Communist Vietnam.
Are you
There's
sure?
no Renaissance fair in communist Vietnam,
sure?
let me tell you. Now, I've been a little perplexed by the news of President Obama going over to Vietnam.
I'm never perplexed by anything that guy does. It's like I always expect whatever he did. I'm like, whatever.
Well, fortunately, I work with a bunch of Vietnamese Americans. Now, these are guys, and there's 4 guys that I work with who had to swim out to a boat with their dad or their uncle when they were kids. Like literally, like here's the shore, there's a boat. If you can get on the boat, you make it to America. So they get out there somehow. They get on the boat. They leave their mom, their brothers, their kid, like their family, everyone behind, whoosh, gone. 2 years later, they can bring the rest of the family over, but they have to live in camps. They have to go through migration. They have to live with family. So these guys have been in the United States for a long time, 30 years plus each. But they grew up in Vietnam, and they go back every year or every other year for their whole lives. So I'm getting a little bit of insight from them about Vietnam.
Good.
And this is the Vietnamese American perspective is the people love America. The Vietnamese people, you go to Saigon, they love America. They love Americans. They love Obama. Love him. The people go crazy for him. They love Obama. This is what he's telling me. One of my coworkers I was questioning today. He said, but
Fuck you, GI. Fuck you. Fuck you, GI.
but the
Apocalypse Now, anybody? Apocalypse
yeah.
Now?
But the government is so closely tied with China, they can't like Obama. So President Obama lands in the airport, and they sent an ambassador to greet him, not the government.
Did
top
he bow
government
deeply
officials.
to the ambassador?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Obama only bows to Muslims.
I don't know. We probably find some footage of him bowing to a lot of people, like a low bow.
Do you think it's like Snoop
Very-
Dogg, like bow down, like that kind of a bow?
I don't know.
So the Chinese government so tightly controls the Vietnamese government that they want Obama, they want the U.S. there, but they have to pretend that they don't.
Is North Vietnam and South Vietnam still a thing, or is it just all Vietnam
It's
again?
just Vietnam.
Huh. Why do they have such a stranglehold? Why do the Chinese have such a stranglehold on Vietnam?
Because the Chinese control all communists in the world.
But I don't understand.
Or at least I think they do. I could be wrong on that. Edgar will let me know if I'm wrong about that. But I'm just
So
telling
well,
you,
it's
this
better
is
for
what,
them. It's better that we promised them that we wouldn't pull out, and then we just fucking left and made sure that they all had to hop on boats to get here, and a lot of them were murdered by the Khmer Rouge, and it was a good thing that we just broke our promise and left there, right?
right.
And
So we could
probably
leave
a
it
horrible
completely
idea for us
over-
to have even gotten into Vietnam in the first place. Of
course.
like we did Korea. It's horrible to try to stand up to communism because they're not evil. They're just like another. They're just like any other form of government. We like democracy. They like communism. It's just all the same.
Yeah, no. Nope.
But anyway, the communists there.
I just thought it was interesting that when the Chinese government comes over, they have marching bands and parades, and every government official comes out to greet them. But when Obama shows up, they just send their diplomat.
Even though they really like him. So actually, to the news people, it looks like, why did they just send the diplomat?
Right. So what my Vietnamese friends were saying is they actually hate the Chinese, and they wish they could get out from under the thumb of the Chinese. So hopefully with Obama...
Boy, that could have been solved back in the 60s if we would have... never mind.
But apparently Obama's going to sell $5 billion worth of U.S. military equipment to Vietnam. So
Okay, what are they planning on doing with it? What are they...
probably push the Chinese back away from their shores. Because I guess the Chinese are expanding out there. Say, well, here's our 200 kilometers of what's supposed to be, international waters, and they just keep pushing and pushing.
Right. That's not going to happen. I don't know what they're buying from us, but...
And the Vietnamese say, well, we don't want that, but what are we going to do? Tell China no?
He's probably just selling them old shit that's not like really that... Like he's selling SR-71 Blackbirds, which we don't really... We already have stuff that's way faster.
Right. Still probably better than what China has.
Oh, yeah? Blackbird, you think? Probably better than the Chinese?
We don't want to sell people anything better than what we have.
No.
Right?
Well, I don't know. Obama might. I don't know. I really... Jesse was on the show last week. He did mention that he thinks he really does love America. I'm like, I don't know. I've never... I would like someone to furnish me with a quote where Obama says, America's a great country. And then where he doesn't say, but...
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard him say any sort of thing, America's the greatest country in the world. He never would say that. And he would never say America without
not a
following up with a
nationalist.
but we're such cunts, blah, blah, blah.
I'd like...
His wife said, what First Lady had said, the first time she's ever been proud of America was when her husband got elected. Fuck you, bitch.
the two of them have said a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
Remember when the American dream was just being able to pay your bills and get by?
You mean of like last week, from last week, the American dream from last week?
That's Obama always has the American
Yeah.
dream. Just being able to get by.
Yeah.
That's right. And all of us, we all share the same American dream. We just want to be able to pay our bills and get by. What the hell, man?
When did he say that?
Like a dozen times. Well, go listen to Jesse's show. He'll bring up a clip for you.
Oh, good.
So tell me about this military budget note
Oh,
that
God.
you had
This
me
is a
write down.
big can of worms. How are we doing on time?
We're only at
We could
44
go.
minutes.
Oh, okay, we could
we're
go.
good.
Well, something caught my eye here. I was looking at a news story. Let me go over to it. It was on Think Progress. I think it was on Drudge. There was a big deal made about how the Republicans' military budget could make every homeless person in America a millionaire.
Wow.
So I said, interesting. So last year, the United States spent more than $596 billion on the military, a total greater than the next 6 countries in the world combined. But the Republican-controlled Congress is looking to increase that number for next year. On Wednesday, the House passed its version of the annual National Defense Authorization Act, blah, 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 allowing for $602 billion to be spent on the country's defense. Anyway, this website is very concerned of how much money we're spending on the military.
Right.
What do you got there? You put it in the chat room or you taking a selfie? What are you doing?
I was
Looks like you're taking
I was getting a note that somebody didn't know the settings to use the iOS app to get into the chat room.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to listen to you and send this at the same time.
Oh, okay. So I was
Thanks for busting my balls, dude.
I was just wondering what you're doing. I was curious. I'm a curious person. You know that about me? I'm inquisitive. But so I'm thinking, okay, so they go through this article too about all the other things they could do with that money. And I don't know if they know, but it says right in the Constitution that the government has to provide for the common defense of the nation.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm sure they don't know this, but do you know how much money we spend now on education? It's about a fucking $1 trillion.
Right.
Let's just say it's twice as much. We can make every homeless person a multimillionaire with that money. This is a retarded argument we're using for this. This would be like, let's just not spend anything on the military and then put all the homeless people into $1 million home. And then I guess China and Russia and Iran would go, that's beautiful. We can't possibly attack them. Look what they've done. And then they would do the same thing.
And then they would take us over.
Yeah.
Right.
No, they would not attack a country that did that. No. Oh, for fuck's sake, you
maybe.
Dumbasses. What the fuck?
Now, isn't the United States military budget?
By the way, let me back up real quick.
Okay.
The federal spending on education is not that, but it's federal, state, and local, because the federal budget, they just kick into the education. But federal, state, and local, we spend about $1 trillion on educating people. And
we're still dumb.
Great bang for our buck on that one, by the way.
That doesn't count the student loan, which is most of the debt.
Oh,
Students take on most of the money, most of the debt burden to get educated.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So isn't it with our military spending, don't we spend more than the next 10 countries combined?
Something like that. Yeah, there was a graph they had on this thing. And the next one, for some reason, was Cuba. Now, that's a country where you can definitely... By the way, Hillary Clinton and the Clintons, their net worth is like $111 million. There's 111 homeless people they could put into a nice $1 million home. Why don't they do it?
Wouldn't that be
I
nice?
guess, why do they hate homeless people, Sable?
Ooh,
She hates the homeless.
Well, she went on Ellen, so she can't hate rich people.
No. She loves rich people. She loved them. Oh, God.
She went on right after Kanye West.
So thanks.
Do you think Hillary Clinton...
Think Progress.
Dave, have you ever seen Kanye West and Hillary Clinton in the same place at the same time?
I have. And
Yeah?
it was very uncomfortable because it was one of those piles that you were talking about earlier, the peasant pile.
Oh, because that ruins my whole
and his
theory.
fucking
that
sack
they're
dropped
the
on my
same.
leg and I lost my boner and Hillary she's like, fuck, whatever. She went off to some other guy.
So they're not the same person.
No.
Okay.
I can verify that they're not the same person.
I thought maybe Kanye West was just like inside of Hillary Clinton. She just pulled the face up.
Oh.
And then it was Kanye.
Kanye inside Hillary Clinton.
Because they were both on the Ellen show recently.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
Do you
one
notice
after another.
You notice a resemblance or something? Is that what you're getting at?
I've never seen them both at the same place at the same time. So I figured it was possible.
Well, I'm going to have to look into this. I'm making notes now. All right.
I don't hear you typing, Dave.
All right. Well,
I don't know about that one.
what else you got? Because I'm done. Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the podcast, for it is a Google number. Its number is 657-206-0777.
All right, I'm ready to do a little bit of Dave Reacts with you,
Thank God, I've been waiting.
Dave Smith.
Okay.
Oh, and once again, Babbling Coffee has joined the chat room after coffee talk.
Oh.
This has become a
Coffee
thing.
do until, what time is it now? Until 10:30 on a Tuesday night.
I think Babbling Coffee is a male escort and has to put elderly women to bed after jizzing in their mouth.
Oh, God. That sounds like something I would say. That's disgusting.
Okay, Dave, are you ready to react to today's Drudge Report top headlines?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not in any way, shape, or form.
Not
Go,
at
go.
all. But you look good in the blazer.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
You like the what are these called?
Lapels?
What's the lapel? Is it this?
Yeah, that's the lapel.
What are, are these like sort of epaulette thing?
No,
type
those
of
are
thing?
just
Not
shoulder-
epaulette, but those
shoulder
would be like
pads.
little frilly ones, but the shoulder pads. Okay.
An epaulette would be a little piece of fabric that went across the shoulder.
Yeah,
so
it's
you
like
could
a decorative.
put your awards on them.
Yeah. All right.
Nice. Okay. BuzzFeed News in Jeopardy.
Huh? BuzzFeed News in Jeopardy? Oh, BuzzFeed News is in Jeopardy. Oh, they're gonna suck because I know the process to get on Jeopardy, and you got to be right. You got to be on. You got to know your shit. You know, and I don't think they know. BuzzFeed does not know. Like they probably couldn't name all the Great Lakes.
So BuzzFeed News goes on Jeopardy, and you won't believe what happens next. Okay? Guns drawn. SWAT team screens jet at LAX.
Oh, I heard about this. What happened with that anyway? I don't know.
Dave, I'm only reading headlines.
I know.
You're supposed to react.
Guns drawn. Well, this is another case where a little kid got out of control. He had a crayon. He drew a shape of a gun. Stewardess saw it. She radios back to the tower. There's a gun on board. Next thing you know, the fucking SWAT team's out there, and it's a big shitstorm. Is that what happened?
I think that's even better than last week when the SWAT team was out because somebody was writing math equations.
Oh.
Remember that?
No.
And they turned the plane around and thought it was a terrorist.
No.
The woman, we didn't talk about that?
I don't think we talked about this.
Woman reported, because the guy next to her was writing math equations, she wrote a note to the stewardess that there was a terrorist on on board.
Uh-huh.
And then they pulled the plane over. She
Wait.
pretended to be sick while they interrogated the guy who was a math professor. Writing down.
What did she think he was doing? Writing Arabic?
Because she doesn't know what math looks like.
Oh.
So she delayed everybody an hour.
So she just assumed that someone's writing something I don't understand.
It
Therefore,
must have been
they
terrorists.
must be trying to bring the plane down.
God bless
Wow.
America, everybody. God
Who
bless
is this
America.
woman? Do we know? What's her name? Give me a fucking name.
No, she took off. She hid. She never
All right.
came back. All right. Next headline, Dave. French police raid Google after $2 billion fraud claim.
That's a boring headline. I don't know. Police.
Come
French
on.
police
Uh-huh.
raid Google. I don't know. I can't imagine what the fraud is. I don't know. This is terrible.
Okay.
I
Next
got a
one.
big on that. I got nothing.
Okay. TPP turns Obama into salesman for Vietnamese shoes.
What? I don't know what TPP is. I'm like the old. I'm an old man on this one with that. What is the what?
Dave, just make something up. You're supposed to react. Obama is selling shoes for the Vietnamese now.
Oh, God.
So in the same
Well-
conversation with my Vietnamese friend, he said Vietnam is making a lot of the premium clothing brands like Banana Republic.
TPP. What is that?
Google it. I don't know. so he said he'll go to Banana Republic and buy clothes for his uncle, for his cousins.
That's so racist to say that Obama's going to Banana Republic. Fuck you.
and they'll
What are you-
say,
what are you saying
They'll
with
say
that?
this is made in Vietnam. Would you go down to the local grocery store and pick this up for me? Like, no, it's Banana Republic.
Well, generally, the Vietnamese only. I grew up with Vietnamese immigrants because I grew up in Westminster, which is the highest concentration of. It's Little Saigon.
I thought it was Garden Grove.
No, Little Saigon is Westminster, and they established here. It's kind of like Glendale and the Armenians. This is their version
Okay.
of Glendale, and they only wear flip-flops, and they drag them around a little bit. So I think Obama would probably use that in his, if you want to drag around these flip-flops, these are the best ones you can buy.
All right.
You know?
All right. I have one more Dave Reacts headline for you.
Oh, God.
You're going to love this one. Landlord sued for requesting valid documents.
That's great. That's great. So I'm imagining that the landlord probably got in a, I don't know, 46-year-old white man, probably wearing a flannel shirt, and he requested to see an identification, and the white man got extremely agitated and said, "Why would you need to? That's racist, sir."
Right? Why would you ask
So
for
he sued him.
Why would you ask for my identification?
Yeah, why? That makes me angry. Why would I need to have a driver's license for a car? Why would I need to show a driver's license to get to buy booze? But
See,
landlord to live in an apartment for a year or 2 or 7. Why would I need to show any form of fucking ID, sir? It must be racism. So, right? White guy, flannel shirt.
So I think what happened was there was a white guy in a suit and tie who showed up to live in a very inexpensive apartment, and they asked for proof of employment. And the guy in the suit was so offended that you wouldn't just take his word for it, that he had to show proof of employment, that he sued.
That must be what happened. Do we know what happened?
Oh, I'm sure you can go to drudgereport.com.
Go to Drudge Report and tell us what actually happened on that story.
That's finding out what actually happened is not the point of Dave
No.
Reacts, Dave.
No.
It's not the point.
Oh, dear.
Are we really going to get the guy that invented Klingon on the show? Because that is so awesome.
Maybe if you can think of some good questions, I can make some inquiries.
Man, we could come up with good questions.
Okay. Let's think about it.
Like, how do we ask how much is a blowjob in Klingon? How do we ask for the massage with the happy ending?
If we're just going to sit here and ask him how to say phrases, I don't know if he
What
want to come on.
What was the thinking behind the honorific form of? I mean, I took some languages.
I would want to ask him why take time. You're obviously banging chicks left and right. Why would you take time out of that to go create a Klingon, a whole new language that didn't exist, like Esperanto, and then you're gonna go Klingon? Why take time off of having anonymous sex with beautiful women in clubs?
You know, there was a legal briefing recently filed in Klingon. Completely in Klingon.
Hey, look at the
big
chat
deal.
room. I got another comment on the nice blazer. Thanks,
That's right.
Family Coffee.
That's right. Let's make a plea to the audience. We're at 57 minutes. If you made it this far and you have some idea, what would we ask the inventor of the Klingon language if we could get him or her on the show?
Tell us
Yeah.
what you think. Call us at 657-206-0777.
I definitely want to replace all the drops with real Klingon. I like butt cream in Klingon.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, dear. Oh, God.
That's gonna
What
be
else you
good.
got? Have we delighted the listeners long enough? Or
I think we provided a solid hour of entertainment and
they
delight.
certainly got their money's worth.
That's right, you guys.
You got 0 out of this show. You got your money's worth.
If you
Although you
enjoyed,
did spend some time listening to us, which we do appreciate. Thank you.
if you enjoyed the show, I wouldn't mind if you went to iTunes and left us a review. You could say,
Yeah.
"Nice blazer, jackass." That'd be a good review. 5 stars.
As
Get
long
a
as it's 5
haircut,
stars, I don't
loser.
care what it says. You can just have like a couple of periods in there and just 5 stars.
Now, if you're gonna if you're gonna have a period, I want you to have a tampon and leave that shit in the bathroom. Don't put your period on.
Just make it 5 stars. I
Don't
care.
put your period on iTunes.
Oh dear. That cricket
I put-
loves your bad jokes
I put-
and mine.
I put the cricket sound on the key, the N key for
Wait, let me guess.
no laugh.
Oh, no laugh.
No laugh. Yeah, that's how I remember it. No laugh.
The N key I notice on your keyboard is really dirty. Like it's got a lot of traffic on it. I could tell. That's
Hold
like the
on
most.
to your hat, partners, and don't let your beer spill. We're riding that bowl known as the Indispensable Thursday Show with your hosts, Sable and Dave. Yeah, yeehaw!
I waited for the yeehaw this time. I bet Jesse, our voiceover guy, could do some good yodeling, like Hank Williams style. What if he could do that?
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, like Long Gone Lonesome Blues. You know that one? That's a great one. We should put that on. She's
Ooh.
long gone. I can't do it as
Well,
well.
there's one more thing I want to do before we wrap for the night.
Oh.
And I do mean rap.
Yeah, let's wrap it up with a good rap song from. What year is this supposedly made in, by the way? Something bugs me about this. I don't know.
It says 2013. It's called Rapping with Jesus. Here we go.
But it's made to look older than 2013. That's what's
I
confusing
think
me.
this is in the Midwest, and that's how they dress today.
No, but look at the 2013. Okay. Anyway, people go look at
The
this
guy has
video.
a camcorder, I bet.
Maybe if they're shooting with old equipment. Okay.
Let's listen.
Okay.
Wait, hold on a second. None
What?
of that made it into Logic.
Oh. People weren't hearing it?
Talk for just a second, would you?
So the people on the podcast are going to just hear nothing? Are we going to go back and fix
that
it?
was a minute of blank. I'm going to fix it, but if you talk for a second, I'll fix it.
Oh, okay. Well, you're putting me at a disadvantage, sir. I have nothing to say. I'm going to go get some Taco Bell after this because I'm really hungry.
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Now I didn't have it
Bye.
queued up this time.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street,
The
then
Christian
you gotta
truth.
do a rap to a
Dave.
hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick.
His sermon.
My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is
His
big
beats are
and
sick. Get
keeps
him a cough
getting bigger.
drop.
That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
What? This is a overweight
This is
white
not-
guy.
This is not a black fella saying this. He looks like a Century 21
He's
real
a
estate
life
guy.
changer, miracle arranger, born to the virgin mom in a manger. Water
Virgin
to
mom.
wine, he's a drink exchanger.
Drink
And he died
exchanger.
for your sins. I preach
That's my
the
favorite line,
word,
just go, and he
that's
died for
my
your
gig,
sins.
And I rhyme better than Notorious Big. All the other MCs.
Notorious
I wish you
Big.
well,
Notorious
but if you
Big.
live in sin, you burn in hell.
He looks pretty fucking. He's like a
Now
hard
I'm gonna pass
pipe
the
hitting
mic to my
nigga.
lovely
There with that
wife.
pink
She's a fly
Izod shirt.
MC and the light of
buttoned up
my
to the
life.
top.
So to bust the rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to earth to elucidate the way
This is
that we
pretty
should
good.
be.
This is it's
If it wasn't so
Like
fucking.
if another MC
just
says
psychotic.
you're
It's
a freak,
unbelievably
you're a lame
funny.
butt rapper
I don't know
and
who
your
they're-
rhymes are
who's the
weak.
audience?
I don't get mad and I don't
I don't
critique.
know.
I
Who's
forgive
the
The
and
audience is
and
18
turn the
million
other cheek.
views.
I don't
Oh, I like her
blaspheme
sheet
and I
cash.
don't
This-
brag.
The 80-year-old
Only
woman
us.
just showed her ass.
And my
Yeah,
pants
she's
don't
probably in her
sag.
70s.
I do exude a little Christian
the
swag, and I'm
70-year-old
proud
lady.
to be an American.
I'd hit it.
Jesus Christ
I'd
is
break
my
that
nigga.
hip.
Let his light shine through ya.
When I heard this, I immediately thought about you, Dave.
You did? You thought of me?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah!
Jesus Christ is a nigga. He's a homie MC, JC. You
Do they understand that nigga is kind of an offensive term, especially people like them are just throwing it out there?
Yeah, I
If
think
you
so.
do drugs and you
Great.
think you're
I think
cool,
they really think they're
you
going to
need
reach out
come
to the youth, though, and they're
Sunday
going to get them to
school.
come in.
They're trying to
Those
reach
drugs
the
in a
black
garbage
youth.
can. Stand up
Somebody
tall,
said
you're
you
a
have to
Christian
rap.
man.
And you got to say bad words to them.
Word up.
Word up.
I'm
That'd be a good
freestyle.
drop.
Hit me.
Word up.
Oh, she's into some kinky shit. Hit me.
Oh, I thought he was going to punch her in the face.
That's great. So what's that called? Rapping for Jesus.
Just
Who's
just
it
go to
posted by?
YouTube and
Whose
look up
channel is it on?
Rappin' for Jesus.
Whose channel is it on?
Brian Spinney.
Brian Spinney.
Brian Spinney. Well,
Holy shit, it's great.
well, I feel great, Dave. So thanks for sharing Rapping with Jesus for me. And thanks for coming over for the show. I appreciate
Thanks for having me again.
I appreciate our sponsorship, all of our interesting points. Look forward to our Klingon episode, and just
Don't promise them. They're clamoring for it now, and I'm going to have
All right.
to.
all right.
I don't know.
There's just the possibility that we could maybe ask.
It could be a call-in. Could we get a call-in?
Sure, we do
Yeah,
a
we
call
can
in.
do call-ins.
We could do a pre-interview and then play the interview. That'd be fine.
Oh, okay.
So we can work with that anyway. And also, Jesse Dollamore was interested in our idea of doing a policy episode where we sort of let people like Babbling Coffee take a snack break for the night and talk about just the policies of Hillary and Trump.
Yeah, I think we should do it.
And the the Dollamocracy army let him know this is a good idea. So we have to schedule with him and get him on the show.
By the way, that was my idea, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, that was your idea. But
I want some credit for that brilliant fucking idea of having Jesse come on and talk policy.
But it happened on the show, man. So
Yes.
we're going to have him back here in a couple weeks. We're going to have to
Can you
arrange
sign off
things
as
with him.
drunk, Sable? Please.
Let me take another sip.
Yeah. You're not really as drunk as you. This is good. This is like Foster Brooksian, beautiful improv. He's rubbing his face.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Get into
All right, Dave. It's been a really good show, man. I really like all the shit we talked about today. It was like, fuck, I don't even know what's on this list. What is that? Fucking intro. Fuck, I don't know. Thanks, man. I love you, brother.
That wasn't as good as earlier. We should have recorded the first one.
Damn it. All right, Dave. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, Dave.
Thank you for listening to the Indispensable Thursday Show. You can subscribe on iTunes and anywhere that fine podcasts are served. Join us on our Facebook page or send us a tweet to @SableandDave.